So good afternoon, all. My name is Abhishek, and welcome to our first episode of Rethink. Uh, First of all, I'll quickly introduce myself and our colleagues today on the panel. So on the panel, we have Suprita Gonzalez, who is AVP Growth at Extra Edge, and I do not know anybody better than that who knows about admissions and admission technology. We have been working together for the past 4 years, helping around more than 175 odd admission teams, completely, manage their admissions. My name is Abhishek Ballab. I'm the co-founder of X. Have been building this company for the past years with my co-founder Sushil and Suprita. With me, we also have our partner in crime, Mr. Nikhil Sutar. He is the guy who has been sending out mails to you, so you know Nikhil primarily. Then you know me and Suprita. So welcome, Nikhil. Nikhil will be our host. He'll be guiding us through the webinar. And what we also want to do a bit different, that we would want to have it interactive. So we will be pausing to have polls. We will be pausing to engage you, get your views in, and also we will be taking questions. So use Q&A to put your questions. I promise you that we will answer all those questions. Right. So with that, let me set the agenda for our first episode of Rethink, as we call it. So first of all, we would want to tell you that why we started Rethink, and basically in a world of too many webinars and too many chaos happening, we thought that we need to have a unique voice. And Extra Edge has been working with education industry, universities, edtech and institutes for the last 4 years. Around 175 admissions teams we have been working with. So because of the special times that we are in, where everything is going online and digital post COVID, it's very imperative to look at our acquisition, admissions, marketing strategy from a fresh lens as we are looking our lives. And what we thought is that our collective wisdom of working with 175 teams and working with counselors, admission executives, marketing heads, and university administrators, we thought that we'll collect our whole wisdom of 4 years and break it down into a series of webinars, which we'll be going through it. And this is the first episode where we focus on tools to help admission teams win, right? It's curated by our growth team. So people who you see on the screen, Suprita, Nikhil, they have been very closely working with admission teams. They are the subject matter experts. And me, I have gotten, bird's eye view to build Extra Edge product with my co-founder, Sushil. And I will be very, very happy to share it across the stakeholders. The stakeholders need not be our customers. It could be our future prospect customers. It could be our stakeholders, and it could be a broader set of ecosystem partners through which we interact on a regular basis. The idea is that post-COVID, we want your teams, your admission teams, to win in this new age, to adapt, to sequence themselves, and to orient themselves towards helping the students get to the right career opportunities and making sure your admissions happen on time and with precision, right? So that's the idea of our think tank called Rethink that we have started. This is our first episode. I welcome one all to this. So while we have started this Rethink and be the first episode, we would also like to take a very few minutes for those present in the audience to introduce what Extra Edge does very quickly and what do we offer. Believe us, we'll take quick and we'll move to the agenda. So I will want to hand over to my colleague Suprita, who will be taking you through primarily what Extra Edge does and how we help our admission team partners increase their admissions year on year. So Suprita, over to you.
Thank you, Abhishek, for that brief introduction. I'm really honored to be, being part of this team and to be working with you here at Extra Edge for the last 4 years. So quickly, coming to, I would like to add a couple of things on what Abhishek said. And we have been closely working for the last 4 years with admissions teams across the education segment. And we have constantly received a lot of questions from marketing heads, directors of admissions, decision makers, chairmen on how do we actually digitize. So many colleges land up telling the students that technology should be progressive, but then they find all of these questions for themselves as to what is the right tools out there for them, what are the ideal way, what is the path for them to go when it comes to their own set of softwares and technologies to adopt for the educational institutes. I think because of the current situation, it has become mandatory for institutes to adopt to this. And as Abhishek rightly said, that is where the complete thought process for us has been driving. And we felt it is our core responsibility and our I would say being part of our culture, that we need to share our knowledge of technology. So both our founders come from technology, so we wanted to put these set of series of Rethink, where we help institutes to understand the technologies, understand the strategies, what is best, what need to be done. So talking quickly about Extra Edge, I would say we are a 4-year-old organization, and we have today had huge amount of learnings working with 175 leaders in education, coming from different segments of education as well. So every institute comes with their own set of challenges. They come with their own set of processes, for that matter. Everybody is unique, and we have taken up this challenge of helping them progress technologically, answering them with a lot of solutions, and helping them hit their goals constantly. So today we work with some of the largest teams in the education segment in India. And to talk to you a little more about the aspects that we will be primarily covering today. So what has been our learning that we will be sharing with you? So let me take a couple of minutes to brief that down into some points. So what we have understood over the years is that any successful admissions team today, or marketing team today, needs to have 3 core aspects in their toolkit. So no electrician or mechanic can do his work diligently without his toolkit. I think we have all looked at those, beautiful suitcase-like kits which we open, and there's the spanner, there is the, hammer. All of these things are ready. So any service person comes to your house, he comes with his bag. So what is that for an admissions team? What is that toolkit? What is that which will make you stronger? So we have tried our best to answer this for you based on our experiences. So number one, undoubtedly, it is a end-to-end automated CRM where all of your leads are aggregated, the student data, touch points, behavior, everything comes into. So that is the admission platform, where you have a one point solution for all of your requirements when it comes to admissions, marketing, and numbers or strategy. Number two, you need to engage with students constantly. And I think COVID has taught us this best, that how do you digitally engage with them, because now everything is gone online, right? So having a very powerful engagement roadmap with a powerful marketing tool inbuilt on the likes of Rule Engine, on the likes of Drip Marketing, beautiful personalized emails becomes the second part of that agenda. And of course, the third part is always understanding what should be done next. And that comes primitively from what we have done in the past. So what is true for each institute on the basis of historical data? What are the kind of students who took admissions last year? What are the kind of students who, which cities did they come from? What has been the change in trend? Currently, if I'm getting admissions from a particular city, where prominently is that from? So understanding your historical data in order to enable your admissions teams, marketing teams to take those decisions for the future on what will be the next big strategy for you. And this cannot be general for the whole industry, right? It has to be specifically for your own institute, based on your brand, based on your quality, your process, etc. So primarily, I would say that your toolkit needs to have 3 parts prominently. Of course, we covered the digital marketing, lead generation, etc. in the previous sessions that we have had. Out here, we are talking about the conversion, where a CRM or a admission platform. Number two, a very, very powerful marketing engine, automation engine with engagement, higher engagement, and predictive, analytics or intelligence, I would say, insights that you can draw from your complete system that can help you take these powerful decisions. So quickly coming to what we will be covering in today's session, I think this is what I would want to spend a few minutes upon, because I think it's important for us to know what is the topic for today, so that we would want a lot more questions coming from you so that we can take them and answer them today. So primarily we are looking at conversational platforms. Why conversational platforms have become very, very important. What is the, role that it will play in increasing your admissions today. Secondly, we will cover online or remote admissions processes along with remote counseling. Third, we will be covering intelligence in admission. So to set the context, we have seen that as of today, there is no physical proximity. For many years, students have traditionally walked into the college, taken the form, filled it, made the fees payment along with parents, looked at the campus. But today that's not possible, or it's almost close to impossible, right? At the same time, responses rates have reduced. People are confused. There's a lot of chaos. What's going to happen? When will my results come? So students are themselves are in a state of confusion. Decision making has slowed down. Response ratios or conversion ratios have slowed down. So what should any admission team, what should a counselor, what should a marketing director do in these scenarios to ensure that we have more admissions? So how do you prepare your own teams, etc.? So these are some of the things that we will cover put together, along with Abhishek being the innovator behind some of these tools. So it's good to have him because he will walk you through some of the tools as well. So quickly before we start, we would want to take a poll. I believe, yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, so thank you, Suprita, for setting the context for agenda of the webinar. So guys, primarily what we will be doing is that we will be covering, as Suprita calls it, the toolkit that is required to not only run your admissions online, but to take to the next level and have intelligence a part of it. For those who are joining, use Q&A to post your questions. And before we start, as I promised that we want this absolutely interactive, so we'll be launching polls in between our webinars so that we hear the voice of the audience and what they need, so that we could tailor our narrative. At the same time, we can take those inputs. So let me quickly launch the first poll, and you can just quickly answer that. So let me launch the poll. So you might be able to see a poll. So if you could just quickly answer that poll, we can take around few minutes for you to answer the poll. And these are some relevant questions we have, which we wanted to understand and know. And immediately prior to that, we will start. Yeah. So Suprita, we have started to get some responses.
Brilliant.
I think we can see, Suprita, Q&A questions being followed on. So probably we can take those questions. So Nikhil, just keep an eye on the questions so that we are able to take as many questions as we can during the webinar itself.
Yes, Abhishek, definitely.
Great. So we are almost 70% completed, guys. Just there are a couple of questions regarding what we are going to talk about. So we just wanted to get that out of the window. Yeah. Yeah. So I think there was a question about video. So don't worry, guys. We are going to record this video. We are going to share the link with you. Whatever we are going to tell you today, we are going to give it to you. So please absolutely be rest assured. If you want this session to go into hands of people who who run admission teams, you can definitely do that. Miss Manoranjini, you can definitely do that. We want the whole purpose of this webinar and this Rethink series is education, is to tell you about what's happening in admissions and how you could strengthen the process. Right. So Suprita, I think we are almost done. And so Suprita, I mean, just to add color to it before you start. So as Suprita clearly mentioned, guys, that this is the toolkit, and I can tell you that with this toolkit today, we are not only going to tell you, but we are also going to show you, right? So due to the paucity of time, we will not go deeper into the demo. We will cover some overall aspects to get you a sense of it, how it looks, how it works, and we can take some more deeper questions offline. And so starting with that, I think one of the most important aspects is engagement with the student, or what we call the conversation platform. That's the first cornerstone step towards interacting with your prospect students on a regular basis via different channels. So over to Suprita. Suprita will take you through why conversation platform is important today, and why it's a need of an hour today, especially when we are at homes. Suprita, over to you.
Thank you, Abhishek. So I think one of the main aspects of the platform, so it's very, very important for you to ensure that you cater to your audience or your or potentially students when they are most active. So what has happened over the years, we have realized that students today browse a lot. They are more text oriented and they are more oriented towards chatting late in the evening. So their browsing hours usually start at 8 and go up till midnight, 3 o'clock, and sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning. So we have seen huge trends where this is the the millennial child today. His habits and his trends are different from what it used to be 10-20 years ago. So the big question here is, have institutes also adopted, have admission teams also adopted to this change? Today there are very, very few colleges which actually are available late night. In fact, none of the colleges have a 24/7 call center like any banking would do or any FMCG companies would do. So what is the next best solution for that? One of the things that we thought very deeply and have developed, which has had a huge impact on many of the institutes that we work with, is having a quick, quirky chatbot onto your website, which will behave like a counselor in your absence, late evenings, have those conversations. Now, conversations are very, very important to millennial children. Millennial students, they prefer chatting than calling and talking over a call today. So the bot is there live 24/7, even on Sundays, even on holidays. For the student, it would answer questions for him then and there. And as I talk, I would want to quickly share my screen and probably show you if that's okay, Abhishek. So I think
We can see your screen. Yeah.
perfect. So the student lands onto the website and the bot pops up, and there's a automation of the flow that can be built by the institute at any given point in time. So I put in my details out here as a student, and as soon as I do that, right, you can notice that the details are available for the counselor at the backend, and a complete journey starts building from where the student came, what was the first what was the first conversation, what was the what was the history behind it, when did he land up, what time did he come to the website. So we have also put a quick OTP verification, so you don't really get too many junk leads at any given point in time. So I do a quick verification out here. And there you start building the entire flow, which is custom to your institute. So the student can choose between a course information or chat or scheduling a counseling if it's a parent who wants a call back from you, so on and so forth. So you can build a complete flow on basis of, what is the age of the child, what he wants to study, and then start pushing information to him. Hey, by the way, the MBA program that we have or the PGDM program that we have is of 6 months. This is what the campus looks like. You can play a quick video jiffy of a tour of the campus. You can play a quick testimonial from a child. This is how this student took this program and got placed in this college or this MNC company. So there's a complete flow built in. The student can further drill down on specific campuses, specific programs, specific sections. You can then push an online application form. And so what are we preferably talking about? So we are talking about being available for your student whenever he wants to know something from you, be it any question. What is the fees? When is the last date for application? What happened to my GPI? Because of COVID, what happens to my seat? When do the classes start? It can be any question that the student has in his mind or the parent has, right? And you are there, you are available irrespective to answer these questions for your specific students. Now, this need not primarily be a automated tool. This can at any given point be a live chat as well. So if I quickly repeat that, Abhishek, you can add.
Yeah, of course. So, the way to think about it, guys, is that imagine your best person in your institute who knows about your brand, your courses, your value proposition, and that person is probably available 24 into 7 without getting tired and answering the questions of the student, right, on a regular basis. I mean, will that be like a great thing? Because, you know, with online and digital becoming a new normal, it's very important that the criticality of the question that a parent and student has at any point in time, right? Because admission is cyclical in nature, is answered very, very quickly. Think about, you know, if you lose a packet by Amazon, you can very easily talk to them, reference the packet, and directly talk to somebody, or you get an answer probably in a click's time, probably 3 o'clock in the night, right? What we are talking about is that, can technology enable us, right, in a world where you don't need lot many people to answer those repetitive questions and have those conversations in a very conversational way, which generation Y and Z, basically these people are used to in the world of WhatsApp and Instagram and Snapchat, right? So it's very important, and that's what we are, you know, trying to simulate and tell you that how we could enable this at scale.
Right. So to quickly show you.
And while Suprita is showing you, I think it's also very important that there is a handshake between a bot or an automated, you know, technology flow and a human being, right? So, you know, imagine that when you make a call to a Make My Trip or to a bank, right? There's not a person picking up the call. They qualify you within a question, and after a question at a given point in time, they decide that now it's the right time to hand over that conversation, right, to somebody in the organization. And that's the right time when the conversation starts. We hand it over to, you know, a particular individual, and the whole interaction with a particular individual starts at any given point in time, right? So that's the beauty of it, that the bot and the human work in tandem, in hand. And the other important part which Suprita correctly mentioned is that this information is available onto the CRM right away. So you could see the conversation when you come back in the morning, when your people come back in the morning at probably around 10 o'clock, they start their day, their admission day, they can see all these communication and conversations, giving them the intent and context to, you know, to do that and to interact with the students further on. Yeah.
Perfect. So to be able to understand what we did in the physical world, how do we move that to the digital world? These are called as touch points. So what do I mean by a touch point? A student opening your email is a touch point. So he has made some response to you. He having a chat on your website, or doing some clicks, videos, etc. on your website is a touch point. So if you're able to collate all of this information on what did the student do in the background, and you know, show him a quick campus tour, or could be any of this, and then feed this information back to your admission counselor. What happens there is that now your counselor knows exactly out of 100 inquiries how many students have opened my email, clicked on that, went on to the website, browsed on my website for half an hour, 20 minutes, how many of them actually had a conversation with the chatbot, till what depth did they go, did they actually land onto my application form or not. Now she can choose not to call all 700, 800 you know, inquiries that she has received. Rather, she probably talks to those 50 students who have done maybe 4 or 5 of these touch points at the end of the day. So you can see that the clear history of the conversation flows back and is available to the counselor. So this is the CRM dashboard for any particular counselor to, you know, quickly view her set of leads out here, and you will be able to see your leads in a flow out there. And I would be able to understand this particular student, where did she come from, and what was the you know, conversation she has had in the digital world at my disposal at any given point in time. So we are talking primarily about the a chatbot, live chat being available on mobile, which is enabled on mobile platforms, being available there for the student then and there at any given point. Now, what is one step further from this? Now, I have started tracking the student. Okay, I know what the student is doing, but what do I do as a counselor, right? It's also important for me to keep on engaging with him, as your engagement ratios, conversion ratios impact from this. So engagement, one of the most powerful tools that you could do is potentially build a quick rule engine, or what we call as a drip marketing campaign. Now, what is a drip campaign? Is one where we are able to quickly understand if the student has opened an email, I send him a second email. Or if the student went on to the chatbot and clicked on, I'm interested in the PGDM program for marketing, I send him a brochure and email for PGDM in marketing. I can quickly set this up in my system. I can say that if the status is new, so this is a new student who has come. So I can say that it is, I can add multiple rules, and I could say that he has inquired for a particular program or course, say PGDM. At any point, if I get this particular data, or I also say that since this inquiry has come from the website, this becomes a very, very important lead for me at the end of the day. So I have multiple sources as well. So what will the system do if any of these conditions are met? Now, traditionally, what colleges are accustomed to doing, I still get to hear many colleges still downloading data on an Excel, uploading onto a SMS platform and shooting SMSs from there. I think this is like history. This is as old as dinosaurs are. Today, if you have not moved to a very, very powerful automation tool, then I can tell you that you have lost the battle even before you have started. How do you do that? You automate these touch points and say that the minute the student has made some action in the digital world, I do another action and I send him a second email, which is more personalized, which has course specific content, which he would be interested in knowing, nothing else. And this gets shot directly from the system. And I can set rule that, you know, this particular student is a priority for me, or I can reassign this particular lead to a different, you know, counselor who's a senior counselor within my organization. She can quickly talk to them. Now I can automate my SMS. I can send out SMS, email, or WhatsApp as well. So Abhishek will be covering a bit more about WhatsApp at the later part. But then I can choose the templates. I can choose to send it to father, mother, as well as their alternate contact numbers and email addresses. I say that, you know, if I've chosen occurrences, I can say that I want to send out 5 communications to the student. I can choose the templates, so on and so forth. Set the time, when and where, how many days gap I want to give between each communication, and make it live.
Yeah. So guys, you know what Suprita is, you know, trying to, tell you is that whatever she showed you, it involves in a normal world multiple people, you know, broken processes, isolated processes. Somebody's shooting a bulk email, somebody is downloading an Excel sheet. Some Excel sheets are on somebody's PC, some are on a Google sheet, some are on a pen drive, right? So, you know, it's chaos all over the place. And then imagine that everybody is working from home now. So what do you do then? So it's like, you know, there is a chaos and chaos on top of it, and there is human error on top of it. And this is probably one of the most important brand messages that can go from an institute to the student. Why leave that to chance? And why leave to the chance in a world where we are not talking to each other and we're not seeing each other? So we are prone to mistake as human beings because of our memory lapse and so on and so forth, right? So how can that be completely beautifully automated in a matter of few minutes, right? At scale. So maybe a lakhs of email and SMS that go with this beautiful journey built at scale, as Suprita will show you. The beauty of that, Suprita, I think, which I really, you know, I want you to show to the users is that what we could do with a dependent action. I mean, that's where the real, you know, rubber meets the road, right? That makes it intelligent. So, you know, Suprita, you know, over to you. Suprita, you there?
Are you able to hear me? Yes, of course.
Yeah. So what I was saying that I think it's important for people to understand the dependent conditions, because that's where the, you know, the real intelligence kicks into the picture. Yeah.
Perfect. So what Abhishek is telling you is that, you know, I have already sent a set of SMS email to a particular student. Now, what we were talking about earlier, right? If you're dumping into a different system, then there's no communication between the systems that you have. This is where having an end-to-end system makes it mandatory for at any point for you to have these communication sets. So I say that I am sending out this particular email or SMS to the student. Now, if that student has clicked on that payment template, then basis of delivery or open, etc., you could then take some actions within the system. So this, what we're talking about, is a powerful automation engine where the system behaves like an AI, and it takes certain actions based on the rules that you have set by itself, and probably sends out email communication to the students directly, probably reassigns these leads to different counselors within the organization, probably says that, hey, by the way, this lead is not even related to law. The student is now no longer related to, interested in the law program. He wants to now look at architecture program. So I need to immediately assign this to the architecture school, or the counselor out there who can immediately talk to the student. So you could set interdependent communications, emails, various actions within the system that the system will take on the basis of the student's response at any given point in time.
Right. And the beauty of that, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is how a Flipkart or a Amazon or a Netflix communicates with you. They keep on engaging with you on a regular basis. If you do not visit for a long time, they keep you sending reminders, they show you recommendations, and they want you to leverage that product to its entirety by being in touch with the audience on a regular basis. And technology should enable that at scale, and that's what we are telling you here very, very clearly. So Subrata, I think one of the things which I would really love people to know is that how the live chat works in action, right? So what I'm doing is that I'm sharing you on chat my credentials. Why don't you simulate it with me? So I have a phone number. I've given you a phone number on Zoom. You can use that phone number and email ID to simulate that. Yeah. So the importance of live chat is very strong, because while we spoke about bot, which does the heavy lifting of making sure that most of the qualification questions or eligibility questions or a download of a PDF can probably happen at night at scale, right? But some or the other point in time, we require people to communicate with them, with talk to them. So here chat becomes very, very important, and we have an ability where we can move the bot at any point in time to a physical intervention with a counselor in the morning, right? So Suprita, I've shared you on a chat the email ID and phone number to use on the chat itself. So why don't you use that? Because I'll get the notification. So it's important that this happens, because the beauty of that is that when a counselor looks at a live chat, she or he already has the context of what the bot has communicated with the student. So she's not asking the normal question that, hey, what's your phone number? What's your email ID? And things like that. What are you interested in? Because she already knows those things. So her question to the particular candidate is that I see that probably you inquired for an MBA course for a 2-year program, right? So why don't you do something about it, right? So it's very, very important in that way that we do that, and we do that at scale, right? And this allows not only the physical interaction, but a physical interaction with a context. And right now we have seen that a lot of universities have their websites or their landing pages as to it, right? So if the traffic is driven by marketing and digital marketing to your website, having an agent on your website with a combination of a bot and with a combination of a chat at any point in time is very super critical, at any point in time. So you see that here, as Suprita is simulating, Daksh is already online, and now, Suprita, just wait to it. That's the beauty part, right? So already the conversation of the bot can be seen here, which gives Suprita, the counselor working for the university's admission team, a lot of context to have now a conversation with Daksh. Suprita, now you can simulate the conversation. And that's how a beautiful bot or a human and a machine combine with each other to give you a total benefit of the conversation platform. So now the communication starts and it goes. And this fundamentally changes how a standalone live chat that few people use works, because we have combined machine as well as human in tandem with each other, right? So that's the beauty of this. So yeah, I mean, now it will keep on going now. So single platform, I know everything about Daksh now, and I can have more meaningful conversation with Daksh. Right. So while Suprita is saying, so that's our this is the first thing, guys, we wanted to cover for all of you in the audience, that why conversation and conversations as a platform is super critical to it. We are helping so many universities and education institutes to understand the recipe, build the recipe for the bot, how the flow should be, what should be the optimal flow. A student in the age group of 17 to 28 has a time span of 8 to 12 seconds, right? So they have a very low attention time span. So how can you capture that attention time span and provide meaningful answers to the question that they seek in order to pursue, or a course or a particular category in your institute? So that's what we help teams to do.
Perfect. So I see a lot of questions coming in. I think we are really happy that there's a huge amount of engagement and people wanting to adopt to these tools immediately. So quickly, moving on to, so we have covered the first section where conversation is the need of the hour today. It's important to re-emphasize a crying child that things are going to be all right. It's important for you to re-emphasize to your students, prospects, that yes, it is turmoil, but there is a clear sky awaiting us after the storm. So use these powerful tools and technologies out there. Look at two things. One is something that's available 24/7. Number two, something that's capable to work on a mobile platform. These are the two most important things, because 86% of students are on their mobiles, by the way. Not many are browsing late nights, sleeping on their bed, on their mobile handset. So it's important that you take care of these two aspects in any tool and technology that you adopt.
And by the way, Suprita, before they came onto the website, they were anyways on WhatsApp and Instagram, looking at their favorite chat or the latest pictures. So, so there is no behavioral change, guys. That's very, very important, which brings me to the question by Ms. Jeelam. Will quickly answer. So yes, ma'am, it's available both on mobile platform as well as a web platform as an app. So students get a seamless view. Even the counselors and admission teams can chat like a WhatsApp on their app. So that's definitely possible. And yes, we also track people who come on the website, their clicks, visits, and so on and so forth. That's an anonymous question that's been asked. So we are capable of doing both these two things. Right? So guys, without further ado, before we move to the next very, very important and critical chapter, I think what we would be interested in is hearing your voice. So I would love to bring a very quick poll up, and I would want you guys to look at that poll, and you can answer that very quick question. So we had really great response on the first poll. So I'm just ending the first poll and I'm bringing up the second poll, which I would want you guys to quickly take. So let me quickly start the second poll. So guys, take a couple of minutes to answer the second poll, because that will help us drive the next session, and we want your voice to be very clearly audible and visible to us. So I'm just launching the poll for all of you. Right. Love to hear your responses, and keep the questions coming on Q&A. Use Q&A, guys, not the chat. I see few of you using chat. Use Q&A to answer, and I'll cover those questions. Yeah. So the poll is up. Would love to hear from you guys.
Am I also allowed to take the poll?
Yeah, Suprita, why not? I mean, panelists can take the poll. Yeah. Wow, we are getting very interesting responses, Suprita. So guys, we will also share, these poll results and details to you. Many of you are asking the question about, will the video be available? Will the presentation be available? So be rest assured, the video recording and the presentation is for you. It's been made for you guys, and we will be more than happy to share it with you. So Nikhil will coordinate on that, and we'll make sure that you have these material and information at your disposal and reference.
So I quickly saw a question where what is WhatsApp engagement and drip communication. I think this particular icon has attracted a lot of people. Undoubtedly, it is the next big conversation platform today. That's where all your audiences are. Drip is something that we just showcased, the rule engine where you automate and personalize your email, SMS communication, and then automate that with a powerful rule engine.
So yeah, so go ahead.
So quickly moving on, I think the next session, as Abhishek rightly said, is the most critical one, because I think this is one of the questions that is there on every admission, officer's mind today, every director. How am I going to do my GDPI this year? How am I going to do my video counseling this year? How will I get the students to, make the payments this year? So this set of questions, which actually started pouring in hugely in the last 3 to 4 months, is what we will be answering in the next session. Are we done with the poll, Abhishek?
Subrata, you can start. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is also my favorite topic, I would say, because I think this has taken a lot of depth in terms of understanding what technology can bring to the table. And this is where we at the heart of Extra Edge, I would say, are problem solvers. In a very short span of 4 years in the education segment, we have been able to identify absolute critical problems that lie at the heart of the admissions and marketing teams. And be rest assured, we have taken a lot of pain, worked late nights to ensure that we build technology that will help teams like yours to be able to succeed progressively even during these times. So quickly jumping into what are we talking about. So we're talking about online digital admissions processes, which includes application and payment links at the end of the day, tied up with remote counseling. We already know that physical proximity, social distancing are the new normal today. So what is the new normal for admissions in that case? How do I get my admissions done for students? So to answer this again, the fundamentals of the entire admission segment has changed. Systems which used to be broken into different parts, paper, accounting team, go to that counter, get the receipt, pay the fees, no longer is going to work. I think it's important that every institute today has a very powerful automation tool or system that helps you enable this. So we are looking at online application forms, followed by GDPI and video counseling, followed by one-click payments. How do you achieve these three within a single seamless tool? So again, I'm going to take you back to the CRM tool that we have, and I'll walk you through some of the things that you could potentially do. So give a quick online application form built onto your website, a link that seamlessly, I don't know if you noticed earlier through the chatbot also, once the student selects a particular course, I can push a link to him through which he can then land to a landing page like this, which potentially you could customize based on your institute, and it will have most of the details of about the college. So you can build multiple forms as well. The student comes in and starts filling out his name, number, you can have terms and conditions, etc. As soon as he lands to the dashboard, you could notice that this is where the instructions are. So he gets to know quick view of what the instructions that he has to read through before filling the form. And he's able to access some numbers. He's able to access his application number. He can upload his photo, access FAQs if he has questions, etc. He can quickly start filling the form. Now, the same form that used to earlier do on paper is now online. He sits at the comfort of his house. Again, the second point I will re-emphasize, this should be available on mobile for any student to fill it right then and there. So the form, I can quickly show you what it looks like in the mobile form. So I can see that it is loading seamlessly in my mobile view as well. I have absolutely no issues. I can quickly click on step 1 and I can start filling. The third prerequisite to this form is to make sure that it is auto saved. Why this is important is because students have a very short span of patience. So they land, they were browsing on Insta, as Abhishek said, I'm looking at Deepika Padukone, and then I've found a link to the institute. I've come, okay, I see that there is something, I start, in fact, human tendency, I quickly fill the form wherever there's a form. Ab mujhe pata nahi ki kya ho raha hai. So I tend to bounce off, right? So it's important that you save whatever he has done till date and then keep sending him automated SMS email communication that, hey, by the way, welcome to our college, and we noticed that you started filling out the form earlier. You have just filled step 1, you are very close to filling the rest of the things. So you can seamlessly design multiple entities. Could be institute name where he studied his SSLC, HSC, his graduation, if he has done post graduation or not, work experience, entrance exam. You can quickly take down his percentile or CGPA, his work experience if he's worked in MNC. So for GDPI, one of the most important part is to ensure that you have the weighted score mapping. And how do you automate this at the end of the day is what getting the inputs right is the first part of it. So you collect all the inputs in a proper format. You have the student upload the documents then and there. He can keep the documents ready, and he fills out the entire form. Now we have also given the option for him to make the payment. One click payment option is available here, and then he moves to his GDPI. So to the counselor in the backend, she has a different application list where I get to see exactly how many students have filled out my forms. So I'm able to quickly understand that 89 students have started filling, how many are in first stage, how many are in step 2, step 3, step 4, etc. How many have made the payment. Now I can set a rule right here for the GDPI. 10 standard, if the marks is so and so, this should be the weighted score. 12 standard, this should be the score. I set on multiple rules. If he has worked in MNC, if he's been at a manager level, I give a 1 weighted. If he has participated in national, international programs, I give him a different weighted score. And I set this and I calculate. At this point, it will automatically calculate and give you how many students have scored in which, at which level. So selection score is available. I can quickly filter the students who are between a particular score. So out of 89, I have 13 students who are within my cutoff. I say that I want to plan a GDPI. Now this is where it becomes very interesting.
Yeah, Suprita. So I think what Suprita is saying is that we have fundamentally saved your 5 people 2 months. Right? Basically, 5 people or 10 people, or maybe 5 people or 12 people, maybe around a month man hour, to calibrate, the calculations, and while the student apply to you. So that has been automated within probably few hours. And once the rubric or calculation is built, you can probably release the results or reuse the offer letter or admit cards and stuff like that, probably within 48 hours. So that's the potential of what we are trying to tell you, that it's like, how can this become as seamless as a Amazon, as a Facebook, or as a Netflix, or as a Google Office 365? Can technology make it so simple and so easy, where we expect the admission teams to talk to students? Because that we can't replace, that technology can never replace. But anything which are basically the operational or the optics of it cannot be done, and cannot be done at scale and with high precision. So right from, as Suprata showed you, the beautiful landing page, to the complex process of compliance with the UGC or AICT. You need to get some information, then mark sheets and documents. They pay the fees through payment gateway seamlessly, all calculated, the rubrics or the calibration happening there on the product, and communication going to them using segmentation and autopilot, right? So I think it at the onset not only saves huge amount of operational time, but it allows people to focus on their core competency to talk to that student. And now you would ask me that, how do I talk to the student? So that's where Suprita has a kicker here, which she'll be showing you that, and before Suprita shows that, I would like to tell you is that we all are a product of Indian education system. Me, Suprita, and we all have gone to our institutes, spoken to the admission teams face to face across, with my parents sitting with an 18-year-old or 20-year-old kid, right? And the trust that develops when the counseling happens with a person sitting on the other end of it is immensely huge. That's the moment where a go, no go decision is taken. Because it's not only about what I study, where do I stay, where do I live, which city do I choose to move from my home at a native place, right? So, I moved from my native place in Ranchi in Jharkhand to Pune. And it was a big decision for my father at that point in time to come to Bharati Vidyapeeth University. So did Suprita, and she comes from Coimbatore. So, I think how can we make that and at scale, and how can we build that trust is what Suprita is going to show you today, which in the post-COVID era will add that last level of trust with the parent and with the student. Yeah, Suprita.
Perfect. So how do I do remote counseling? So we have covered application form, we have covered GDPI or weighted score shortlisting automation. Now comes the trickier part. Now this can be used either prior to the GDPI, when you're in the initial lead engagement stage, the student has not even landed to your application form. He's just a new inquiry and he has a few questions about the college. You can use this particular tool even at that stage. I think a lot of colleges today, Abhishek, are using this, but then it is outside of your CRM system. So this is where I say that having an end-to-end system makes it very, very powerful for you, rather than having a Zoom where the student is very hasty to download Zoom altogether. It's not a mandatory for him. So we have heard counselors saying that, ma'am, it's not working for us. The student either says, okay, ma'am, my internet is not good, the app is not loading, and so many other reasons that come up at that stage, right? So what do? You have an interviewer, you have the counselor, you have the student, his parents probably in a different city because of COVID. They're not able to travel. So you say, hey, that's okay. What I will do is I'll send you a link. All you need to do is click on that particular link, right? And I say, I start the call. So you can see that it's a browser based. All the student needs to do is open the pop-up and allow this particular video cam and the audio also to open up right here. I could quickly open and send this to the parent or the student's number right away. And I have opened my audio, able to see. I allow the student to join, wait for the parents to join. Meanwhile, I also have the option of chatting with the student right here. So I could share my screen, or I could start chatting with him. I could say a hello to the student. I can quickly tell him that, hey, I will share. All right, sorry about that. So I have the student who has joined in for my counseling session. Now I quickly, tell him, hey, good to have you. I can also ask his parents to join in on the same link if required. Once I have the parents also on the same, I could quickly show him a tour of the campus. A YouTube video starts playing where I'm talking to him about what we do at my particular college. I can follow this.
Hello guys.
So you can see the video has started playing.
And I'm customer success at XtraEdge.
So the student listens
what
to
XtraEdge is.
the entire video as we keep talking. Now I say that that's brilliant. So I ask, hey, Daksh, what did you think about the campus? What questions do you have further? He can share this link with his parents or his guardian. They can also join into the same call. We can have a group discussion. I can share this with the interviewer who will join in and conduct the GDPI. I can have 5 students who will do a group discussion as well, need be. I then quickly send him the link of the application form, that, hey, this is the application form for your MBA course which you want to pursue with this. You can quickly start filling it, or I can fill it on his behalf, and I could potentially send him some of the aspects of so he has sent back something. Perfect. So I could share a testimonial. I can call a student who has passed out. He will talk to Daksh and tell him the life that he has spent in the college. So I can have multiple people coming into the chat conversation at any point. Now I end this. Now the most interesting part is that you get a brief history of that particular conversation out here on the form itself. So you will be able to quickly view the video call made, how many duration it was, what was the date and time stamp, etc. into the CRM. So you get to know that the GDPI was conducted, and then I say, hey, by the way, the student is brilliant. I love her, GPA score as well. A weighted score is a match, perfect. I'm going to send her an offer letter. So I can quickly shoot a offer letter from here. I can have that template inbuilt into the system. I can shoot the offer letter, or I can do it in bulk to all the shortlisted candidates where I have sent the offer letter here. Now, I also give the student an option to make a payment online. So I can send to parents as well, because many a time these are executed by the parents. So I can choose to send this particular link via SMS or email to both the parents and the alternate numbers. I could do micro payment. The student wants to pay just 700,000 rupees for the application. Somehow her card did not work. Talk about international students. They say, ma'am, some error in my card. Is there an alternative mode? So I could quickly put in, or I want him to make a fees payment to block his seat. It could be 50,000. I set a quick expiry date for that particular link and I send it to the student. What the student does appears, basically they will get it in the form of a particular email or a link on their mobile. You can see that this will be the link. We could add the college logo into the payment gateway. Student accesses, says that, hey, I'm going to make a payment through, credit card, debit card, all the options are available. I put in the details and the bank page loaded. I probably put the wrong OTP. Now the transaction has failed. What happens in this case? The counselor gets a notification immediately. By the way, that link payment failed. The student attempted, but it failed. Now you can quickly call the student and say, I noticed that the payment has failed. Would you want me to send a different link? You quickly send a different link to the student, and maybe he tries a different mode and completes this payment for himself. So in one go, you have given the application, enabled the student to fill his form, gotten the entire detail automatically, weighted selection score, done the math, done the calculation. The system will automatically calculate. You send out the offer letter, the student accepts, acknowledges, you send the payment link, the student does. In between, you have a powerful, very powerful tool of video counseling where you are able to either counsel the student, and it need not be a complete full-fledged 2-hour call. It can be a quick 15 minutes call with the student where a counselor simply connects and tells him or answers some of his questions for him.
Right. So I think, Suprita, thank you for giving that wonderful demonstration, right? So, and for people in the audience, we hear about now we need to go online and we need to digitize ourselves, right? And everybody knows that the importance and benefit because there's no other choice now. But all these different pieces of the puzzle, right from getting the right information from the applicant, which is mandated by a UGC or AICT, fulfilling the norms, getting the approval, making sure that they fulfill the minimum eligibility criteria that the institute has warranted for them, right? Communicating very clearly with the students and between the student and the counselors on a regular basis without human intervention, as automated as Suprita showed the segmentation part to it, a rule engine, and then making sure payment collection happens in a hassle-free manner, right? And all of these things are happening on a mobile phone, right? So I think this convenience that this online remote admission can bring in, with the final nail, in the coffin being the video counseling part, where you or the admission teams who are present today or people who represent universities who are connected to admission teams can build that trust which a physical interaction on a smile on the face could have happened in a non-COVID world, right? So that is, really, really powerful, and that's really impactful. That one conversation on a video can probably drive a decision on that moment itself, where he transfers the money and he becomes a student, right? That's very, very critical to adopt. And as we are adopting Zoom very, very easily, having this tied up with the product, with the CRM, as Suprita showed, the CRM, the marketing automation and the predict, having it in one toolkit is absolutely fundamentally essential for any progressive teams in India today. And it will become a mandate for most of them today, right? So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Suprita, over to you.
So as we were, emphasizing earlier, it is very, very important at any given point that you think like the way a student does, understand what his problems are and address that in the first go itself, because this cannot have multiple iterations. And today, where the student is extremely scared, the thought process that he will have when he is able to do all of this at the convenience of his home, without having to the nightmare of मुझे कल कैंपस जाना पड़ेगा, कैब में जाऊं या बस में जाऊं या गाड़ी में जाऊं. तो questions like this that the student potentially has, the way we have also experienced that, right? But then it's much more scarier for a parent, for a child at the end of the day. So as possessive as we are, it's important that you make these tools, digital tools, you utilize technology at the fullest and ensure that the process is not deterred. At the same time, the student's convenience is also not deterred.
Right. And Subrata, one of the other things which is very important to understand, that communicates to a student and a parent, a brand or a readiness in the admission team, which gives them the comfort that if these people are so equipped with the technology for admissions, they must probably done a fantastic job when I am going to send my student after some time to their campus online. I think that trust deficit which we have for safety can be definitely bridged by technology, and that can be done at scale. Right. So I think that's equally important for people in the audience, that, we take these things to our admission teams or implement it, wherein at the first touch point with the student and the parent, we build that trust, and we don't let the trust deficit impair the probability of the prospect becoming a student in the first place. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. So again, technology plays a very, very big role for any setup today, be it in any industry, and it's most imperative for education to adopt for these tools. And I would say that for us, the most important factor has been our set of colleges who we work with very closely. They have helped us understanding these challenges at the ground level, and keep shooting these problems at us, keep shooting these questions at us, because that is what is the motive for us to keep building new things, innovative things to help you grow at the end of the day, tackle these challenges head on, and your goals become our goals at the end of that. So I think
the poll now. Yeah. So guys, for all of you, this is the third and last session of the webinar today, and I'm going to again launch a very quick poll with 2 quick questions. We would want to hear from them. This is the most exciting bit, in which we will be covering about how can you take your admissions on WhatsApp, right? And how you bring technology like machine learning or intelligence into your admission. So quickly, poll, allow us to complete it quickly so we can get back to business. So I've just launched the poll. So your answers will be really appreciated very quickly. So, while you are answering the questions, keep on using Q&A to put your questions. Nikhil is, as we speak, making a note of it, and we will make sure that we answer these questions. Okay, so while the poll is in progress and you are answering the poll, I would request all of you to complete. What does WhatsApp has a role to play? Now, you know that WhatsApp is probably the most powerful tool of communication where any student or a parent is currently on it. So, it has a pervasiveness or a depth in India. Near about 60 to 70% people who have internet connection are using WhatsApp today, right? So how does a university admission team leverage that? How do they leverage WhatsApp as an engagement tool? So let me quickly show you that, right? So imagine that you have a WhatsApp business API account, which probably companies like XtraEdge can help you create. It's not a business account, it's a business API account. It's a different kind of account, right? So you have a WhatsApp API account, and that phone number can be showcased on your Google Ads, on your Facebook, on your banners, on your website, on your landing pages, on your social handles, on any kind of newspaper or any kind of print ATL BTL. That few numbers, which are WhatsApp number, can be showcased. Either students can click on that and directly go to WhatsApp, or you can send an outbound message, right, as a WhatsApp push to students who are kind of applying at your university. So how does it look? So I hope you are able to see my screen, Subrata.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely, Abhishek.
So imagine that this is your brand. Let's call your brand Unnati, right? And I am a student and I come to your website. So when I come to your website, I start to chat. But as I start to chat, or as I start to communicate onto your website, and I come to you, what WhatsApp does is what Suprita showed you is what a chatbot does. It would immediately recognize you. So see, it has recognized me, my existence as 9096073241, and it has asked me a question that are you happy with the program, or any kind of details. And I say that yeah, I mean, this is a great program, program, and I am really happy, right? So I keep on putting these questions to it. So I've just answered this question, and after this question is answered, they ask me another question: are you currently employed? In the institute parlance, it could be that, do you have your 10th and 12th mark sheet more than 90% or 80%? I say yes, of course I have my documents with me, right? It asks another question that, what's the name of employer? And in this case, I say Extra Edge. And what is happening here, gentlemen, is that it's guiding me on WhatsApp, in a very seamless way, and answering my previously qualified question in a very simple way and guiding me through it. And I can have the communication, I can enter my salary, so on and so forth. And finally, this also has an ability, and that's very important, right? That it gives me a PDF, a video, image to download, which I can consume as we could do on a chatbot world. Same we can do on a WhatsApp world. So it has ended this, it has thanked me for it, has captured my data to it. And now the beauty of this is that all of this, right, is seamlessly captured here on the platform. So if you see that Abhishek has been captured, this is my number that has been captured. The source is a WhatsApp bot. And here's the kicker: all the question that Abhishek has answered, right, all those answers have also been captured. So you see here, when you come to, check onto it, that all my answers have been captured. So let me quickly copy my number. So this is me to it, and whatever I have answered and whatever I have put in, they also will be captured. I just need to refresh my screen for that. So, this is a great program. Yes, Extra Edge engineer, my salary, number of years of experience, all these are seamlessly captured, and now they can be sliced and diced. So imagine in your case, how many marks did you score in 12th? Are you applying for an MBA, right? Do you have a, a kind of, what's your caste? Are you an OBC, a general category, and so on and so forth? Okay. Do you looking for a scholarship? Do you have, like a parent from a defense academy or defense background? So all those beautiful qualification questions can be delivered via WhatsApp. And now here, what Suprita told you is that while this is captured through a WhatsApp lead, I can do each and everything with the candidate. I can send him an email, I can send him an SMS, I can send him, I can make a call to him right from here itself. I can give him a call, or I can start a video chat as Suprita showed me. So that's a beautiful way, an automated way to use WhatsApp as a platform to capture the candidate's basic information and give him more nuanced information about program details, brochure, and so on and so forth. So, this is something that we are probably one of the first companies in education to bring to the admission teams. And we would, love to showcase this to the broader audience of admission teams who want to take their communication to WhatsApp, and they want to do that again across their various different programs that they have, which they are opening for admissions, right? So that's something that I really wanted to touch on, Suprita, that how WhatsApp can power your engagement and communication, your qualification, and allow students to consume that. And as we told you that we can have multiple numbers. These numbers can be put on an ad, on online, on an ATL, BTL, offline, anywhere, and they will work seamlessly to it, right? So that was the first part, Suprita, that I wanted to cover, And last but not the least, guys, that what I'm going to show you is, imagine a world where you do not have a very large admission teams, but then you have an ability to look at a lakh or 10 lakh or 15 lakh of students. So around, 11 to 12 lakh of students gave CBSE examinations today. And these people are the people who passed 12th, and they will be the prime audience who will be taking enrollment in different institutes, which you guys represent today, right? So how do I find the needle in the haystack? What's the way to do that? How do I know that out of those 5 lakh students, there is one Suprita and there is one Abhishek who's the right fit for my institute? And what do I do as a leading indicator to make sure that a Suprita or Abhishek takes admission? So it's a very good use case for what we call artificial intelligence and machine learning, that what we have done, right? So let me quickly show you a couple of quick examples. So here, let's look at this prospect called Mandeep, right? So Mandeep has come from a chatbot. He has had a telephonic call. There are several various communications that the counseling team has had with Mandeep. They have sent him an email, they have sent him an SMS, details. So these things have already been sent to Mandeep today, right? So already these things have been sent to Mandeep and he's already privy to it. What happens with Mandeep, while we look at, our product and while we look at it, right? So just give me a second, right? So when we look at Mandeep, there is a very naive thing here. You could see what we call as conversion probability. What conversion probability says is that the system looks at all your past data of your enrollment and non-enrollment. Think of it like a dating analogy, that if a dating site knows your preference, your profile, they will look for the better match for you. So when I say that it's 80%, it's good. When I click on it, right, it exactly tells me that we believe that the conversion probability for this particular candidate called Mandeep is 80%, which is average, and it recommends me what do I need to do next. So this recommendation is an auto suggestion that's telling the counselor that we fundamentally believe that today you need to send this particular SMS, and and this recommendation is generated based on machine learning algorithms looking at all your actions, email, SMS, outbound calling, inbound calling, chat, your comments and everything. And it's giving me this recommendation. And I click on it, my recommendation is created. And it's also telling me how the prediction score has increased. So on 25th, the prediction score was 0, but it kept on increasing. And on 7th today, the prediction score has moved from 0 to 80%. Why? Because this came from a good channel. Some of the SMSs were opened, some of the emails were opened, and basically outgoing calls are not done. And it also gives me a sentiment in terms of what comments the counselors are putting in. So, just not to get too deeper into it, imagine a world where your counselors are able to look at, your prior enrollment history and take good leading indicator decisions. Another very good example is a poor example. So this is Abhishek. Abhishek has come from a live source. His conversion probability is poor. So if you click on it, right, the conversion probability, it tells you that basically your conversion is a bit poor. We just recommend you that you have not done any activity, just send an SMS and be okay with it, right? So what happens here in the product, first time we are looking at your prior history of admits and non-admits and using machine learning and artificial intelligence to predict your admissions. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this has never been done, at least I know, in the Indian education technology industry in admissions. We are the first person to do that, right? And we are able to do this at scale, taking into account your call, your email, your SMSs, your website visits, your comments, and so on and so forth. This is the new age of admissions where you will be predictive, you will be proactive, and you won't be reactive. And that's what we are talking about, right? So, over to you, Suprita.
Thank you, Abhishek. I think this particularly reminds me of, if you're in one of the metro cities, I think most of you will be able to relate to this. It's been very, very difficult to travel over the last 10 years and the amount of traffic that has been building, right? So it how long, which route has more traffic and things like that, right? So it has definitely made our lives easier, and I think it is a very powerful tool today to ensure that your counselors have this kind of tools which makes their job probably without the toolkit, right? That electrician would have taken more than a day or probably never to fix that, a problem. But then in this case, I can't imagine how, easily your counselors will be able to take these decisions, whom to talk to, understand between the chaos, understand what the students exactly wants to know before he have even started the conversation. And I can probably pick up the phone and take that conversation forward, not from the beginning, but probably from the point where he has already left off, and say that, hey, we know what you already are looking for. And I think that will be a game changer for any admissions counselors or officers out there, for them to be able to adopt this quickly and make the most of the situation to hit their targets continuously.
Suprita, I think Nikhil is pinging me that we are running out of time. So I think we can do a very quick, a Q&A, and then we can do a closing note, Nikhil. So are we allowed to do that, Nikhil?
Yeah. So I'll just share the questions with you.
Nikhil, so I think let's take some questions, Suprita, and then we can do a closing note, some closing comments from you and me. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Nikhil. So over to you, Nikhil, and let me know some top questions that we can take.
Yeah. So I took the opportunity to answer most of them since I wasn't, sharing anything. So there are some questions that I would, like you guys to answer. So the first question is, if the student pays through the link, the payment link, the one-click payment link that you, showed, will there be any charges that would be deducted when the payment is done?
Yeah, sure. So basically, whenever a payment gateway is involved, Nikhil, there are definitely some of the charges that are levied. But for education as an industry and a customer, the rates and those charges are very minimal. Considering that it's more not for profit in that way. So the short answer to that question is that yes, there will be some transaction charges. But for education as an industry, these charges are very bare and minimal as compared to if you were buying a book at Amazon.
All right, nice. Okay, so quickly moving on to the next question. So this was asked during the chatbot session. So does this system basically traces who visits your website?
Yeah. So Nikhil, that's a really good question. So, the question is that can we trace website visits? So basically there are some, privacy policies and rules which we abide by as far as privacy of a student is concerned. But we have a product called Website Analytics. We have launched it recently, through which, Nikhil, we can track if a student is registered already with an institute on our CRM. If he goes onto their website, we can track how many times he has visited, what pages he has gone, what links he has clicked, what brochures that he has downloaded. So what we call the click tail, that click tail will come back to the product. And as Suprita filtered on the GDPI score, similarly, you can filter on the click tail that I want to filter students who spend between 10 minutes to 20 minutes on my website in the last 3 months. And you can filter that, right? So we have a separate product as a part of our marketing toolkit, as Suprita mentioned. So as a part of a marketing toolkit, our web analytics is available for disposal for people who, opt out for Extra Edge platform.
All right, perfect. So moving on to the next question. So this is related to WhatsApp. Is it possible to bring multiple personnel into a WhatsApp chat platform?
So you mean to say that multiple people can be chatting on?
Yeah.
No, actually, WhatsApp right now has a one-on-one. Okay. So either you could do a one-on-one interaction with the student, or you could have a automated bot interaction with the student, Nikhil. So right now, these are the two options that are possible.
All right, great. So last questions. So just give me a second. Can you give us few tips on how to convert the leads into admission in this virtual era for an education industry?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. So I think, Suprita, you should take a jab at it.
I would basically say that we will send you the link, ma'am. Ideally, look at all the webinars we have done in the past as well. We have covered a lot of topics in this already, because I think it's a very vast subject. It's a subject in itself, and some of the things you could immediately look at is, enabling your counselors with all the required tools, constant communication with your own counselors and what are the problems they are facing, thereby you're educating your counselors to be sensitive to, students, being able to understand what is the actual problem, enabling them with tools and technology. There's another session we have done earlier which addresses, some of the tools for marketing. We are happy to share that. Nikhil, you can probably drop your mail. Nikhil will share that with you as well. That we have covered a lot of tools which will help you on the marketing front, newest things on tracking, etc. Your AdWords, Google AdWords, and things like that. So that's what I would say. Keep on, progressing. That's most important.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just add to it, Nikhil, very quickly, that it's very important to think about your admission process as, one problem. You not try to solve a point-based solution like, let me go and get a, kind of, a IVR and it will work for me. So I think you need to see this as a wholesome process where you need to have a complete toolkit, because that toolkit will give you compounded value over a period of time. Right. And toolkit could be a chatbot, it could be analytics, it could be website analytics, and all need to talk to each other in unison, allowing your counselor enough data to take more of, intelligent decisions of whether to enroll that candidate or whether the candidate will not enroll in the first place.
All right, perfect.
I think there are a lot of questions on WhatsApp as well, I believe. So a couple of things I would want to add is that WhatsApp has 4 different things today. One is the one-on-one WhatsApp you could anytime enable on your web browser. Number 2 is the, the bulk WhatsApp that you could send. You need to have a separate setup for this altogether. You need to ensure that you need to get approval from WhatsApp. There's a longer process for this. And once you do, then you have the ability with the CRM's help to send out bulk WhatsApps if required, trigger WhatsApps, or also automate. The 4th product is the bot in itself. So rather than doing a live chat, again, which ends at 6 o'clock when your counselor, logs off, you could automate the entire bot within the WhatsApp, Nikhil. That will help, students keep on having that conversation rolling 24/7 as well. So again, this is a vast topic. I think we can have a different session altogether on this for that matter, because there's a lot of prerequisites from WhatsApp for this. However, we will be able to help any institute today to get on board in any of these if required, and help you set it up seamlessly.
Right.
Perfect. I think there are some questions pouring in. I will just take one or maybe 2. Okay.
One more question, the lucky one.
Yeah, just give me a second. Okay, this one is interesting. How to make 100% admissions in private university?
Yeah, I think, first of all, talk to us. So, we can't guarantee 100% admissions, but we can guarantee best practices that would lead you to that kind of outcome. So that's the first thing, and, I think 100% admissions aspiration is really great, but in these times where, we probably are still in the middle of a huge pandemic, getting the students and answering their questions, helping their parents to go through this economic crisis or financial crisis they must be facing, important, I would say. So, the way to getting your seats filled is primarily to have a very clear, periodic, consistent voice with your prospects. Is that be authentic, be realistic, have a delivery mechanism of starting your classes online. So acquisition is one part. There is another part of delivery. The delivery needs to be sorted online, right? And be flexible with payments. So having installments, an ability for a parent and a kid to pay in installments is really a good, I would call it a growth hack that I think every institute should think about. So I think these are the 3 primers. So you need to have the technology. You need to, have a very periodic, consistent voice to the student, which needs to go on a regular basis, and be flexible with the payments, and, admissions will happen. I mean, admission or healthcare are 2 industries which even a pandemic cannot shake. It's a very strong industry. So, doing these 3 things, having the technology backbone in place, because people are working from home, the teams are working from home, is very, very critical, Nikhil. And at the end of the day, nobody can guarantee things. people can already put their best foot forward and have best practices to enable that.
Yeah. So I think there are questions, but I think we are short of time, so we can take these questions offline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we will, Nikhil, we need to make sure we answer those questions of all of you.
Yeah.
So Pratha, over to you for closing comments, and we'll wrap up.
I have shared the contact link, or Nikhil, you can quickly put in our
Sure.
contact details, marketing mails, etc. So I would recommend, we have these questions with us. We will definitely want to reach out to you. So if in case your question is not yet answered, I would request for you to leave your email or contact number immediately there, either in the chat or in the Q&A itself, so that we can reach out to you maybe today, tomorrow. Feel free to go to the scheduler demo link, which I've shared in the chat right away, and reach out to us. We have shown about 40% of things, 30% of things today. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. So if you're interested in exploring more or getting more answers to these questions, feel free to set up a demo with us, a detailed demo where we can reach out and discuss more in detail. Because initially, as I said, each college has its own process, each institute has its own problem, so everything is unique. It's important we address that.
So Pratha, before you start, so guys, those who are still on the poll around Kata, I would want you to take the last poll. It's very, very important that you answer, because that allows us to tailor our next webinar. So
Right.
people who are there currently on the participants, kindly take the poll, help us, know what you're interested in, you care about, because what you care about, we care about, what you care about, we build it, right? And so it's very important for us to know that, right? So Pratha, the poll is on. You can proceed with the closing.
So meanwhile, I will quickly take a question which I noticed, and I find this to be very interesting, right, Abhishek? So Prasanna sir here has asked a question that students are telling that they'll take the admission only after CT. CT is the entrance test. So how to convert their mind, after COVID-19 for joining? I think two things here you need to do is, as I said, students are scared. Decision making has reduced undoubtedly, and primarily is because there is chaos. We also have a lot of chaos today, and it's important to keep talking to them and nurturing them, be it sharing on how the processes will unfold, maybe sharing news about what the government has said over a quick WhatsApp message, because SMS is outdated today. There's a different window for me to delete all my spam SMSs as well. So you could quickly adapt to some of these tools where your student is. Keep on re-emphasizing the brand to him and tell him that we are there for you. And once that trust is won with somebody, then they tend to come back to you for any kind of more questions, or taking that decision. That comfort level comes in. So it's important to keep talking to them, conversations in different forms, keep on nurturing them, be there for them, keep answering their questions, because student also might have huge amount of questions, right? And it's each institute's duty, each admission officer's duty to ensure that we answer that. There's nobody else out there to do that. So so keep on doing that. That's one of the best ways to do this. And one thing that it brings to my mind is that I would want to put this quote across to everybody, is that uh, it is not the strongest of species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. I think most of you know who has told this. It has been the DNA for us, of the planet for that matter. So with the DNA around us changing, it's important that institutes themselves change or adapt to this change in the most apt way. And the ones that are able to successfully adapt are the ones that will hit come out successfully, or as sir asked, 100% admissions. Probability of that would be very higher if you're able to adapt. So that is what I would want to share from my end. And we at Extra Edge come with 15 to 18 years put together. We have about 80 years in technology, and we have spent about 4 years working with 175 institutes. I come from about 12 years in sales and education. So I think reach out to us at any point if you wish to have more questions, more dialogue, more conversations like this. We are very happy to sit with you for half an hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, answer those questions for you, and see how we can help you progress. You're on mute, Abhishek.
Yeah, Suprita. So I think, first of all, I would want people out there on that, kindly take the poll. That's a final poll, and it allows us to know what you're thinking, and so kindly, please, before you leave, kindly take the poll. We are going to answer all your questions, and this is the first part of our Rethink series, and it started with a bang. We would want to continue that. I would invite and welcome all of you on our upcoming series too. But today I will leave you with a thought and note that, as Suprita quoted, the great Charles Darwin, and that, evolution and change is very important. I think a whole mindset of how your admission technology is going to go forward and what are the measures you need to take as on today. Because believe me, guys, you're already late, right? So people are already late. The whole admission cycle is delayed. So probably we are already delayed as in naturally in the first place. So readiness needs to be proactive. It cannot be an afterthought. It has to be a forethought, right? Get in touch with us. More than happy to have conversations. We believe in having meaningful conversations, which may or may not lead outcomes, but we believe in having those meaningful conversations. So talk to us. We would love to do that, and we are going to send you the recording, the material that we used for your discussion and perusal. Hook on for a demo. Would love. My team is gearing up to show you what we have. As Suprita rightly said, we just showed you the tip of the iceberg for the paucity of time, right? And I wish all of you great admissions, and and believe me, guys, all of you, we are in together, right? So we as technology partners are there with you in this together, in a COVID era, helping you get your admissions online. So definitely we'll communicate about future episodes. We want to create a mandate, and also it's very important that you all used to go to education events, which probably is not going to happen at least for near about a year. I don't know, maybe year is a optimistic tone that I have, which means that these kind of events will become a way to communicate, collaborate, exchange thoughts and ideas. So tune into Rethink episodes. Suprita has shared the link, and we will be sharing the details with you. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank all of you, for coming in, attending, and and I thank Nikhil and Suprita for her wisdom, and Nikhil for operationalizing it. And I look forward to speaking to, if not all of you, most of you in our next Rethink series. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek, for for having this. I think much needed. We have had many people asking a lot of questions in the past. We have tried our best to answer. Again, I have posted about the upcoming sessions. So Rethink is a complete series which will help us address more of these questions. The requirement of being educated ourselves first is most important, and we wanted to take this as an initiative. Both our founders coming from education and technology, we wanted to do something for the education industry since very long, and this is our I would say baby, where we are launching this, where we are able to help institutes to progress with knowledge and learning. So we will have more exciting conversations, exciting things to share in the upcoming episodes as well. We are also going to be having some successful leaders from the industry who will also share their learnings, their experiences, their growth on what helped them to succeed during tough times as well. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for being such a great audience. I really love the set of questions that we keep getting. Really love these conversations. This is what keeps us awake at night, and it's not COVID. So keep on shooting these at us, and we would love to connect again.
Yeah, keep safe, guys. Have a safe one, and we look forward to having more meaningful conversations to you. The link is there. You can go onto our website, sign up for a demo, and we would love to engage with you. Thank you very much.